So everyone, thanks for coming along this afternoon. We've got Derek and Emma here from Skills Development Scotland, who are going to go through their very exciting Skillscraft world and how you can use that to teach about the world of work and careers in Scotland and beyond and so on. And I'm really excited to share this with you. This is our Aberdeenshire launch, and we're one of the few local authorities that are lucky enough in Scotland to have access to Minecraft. So you really are very lucky to get the opportunity to take part in this. But I will hand over to Derek and Emma just now, and then at the end I'll pop back on again to let you know how you can access Minecraft on your devices in school, what you need to do and how you need to log in so that you're not stuck and know how to get access to all these fab resources. So I'll hand over to you, Derek and Emma. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Julia. Before I start sharing my screen, and while I can still see people on camera, we'll do introductions. So I'll go first. I'm Derek Hawthorne. I'm Digital Development Manager at Skills Development Scotland. So I've been working on a range of different digital products, My World of Work, Apprenticeships.Scotland and other products over the years. And we've been working on this for probably about 12 months since we started, really. So, and Emma, to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Emma McKinnon. I'm a user experience designer. I work in Derek's team, so a lot of the projects he's just mentioned I've also been a part of. So my role in the Minecraft project has been a lot of kind of user insight, developing the plans for the game itself, and then going out to testing.
Great, so I'll just share my screen if you can bear with me just 1 second. Hopefully you can all see that.
Yep, can see that, Derek.
Perfect, great, thanks. So this is a little screen grab from our world, which Emma will show you a bit later. The Kelpies and one of the famous landmarks we've got in the game. So I'm going to just start from a wee bit of background and where we've come from on this journey. So the career review, as you know, was running over the last couple of years and concluded maybe about 12 months ago or so with some recommendations, and obviously Skills Development Scotland highly involved in that. Lots of insight we've been doing as well with our customers has pointed to the fact that for young people in particular, we need to make our games more immersive and engaging. So young people are used to using social media, games and other technologies, and we want to make sure that we're creating something that's fun, really captures the imagination of young people and makes them want to play it of their own volition, as opposed to maybe some other products that we might have had in the past where it's more teacher-led and pupils feel as though they're just getting made to do something. So that's what we're trying to do, really get an engaging product for pupils. And as we started to look out, it kind of went back to conversations we'd had with Careers Wales many years ago, actually, 6 or 7 years ago, and with other partners as well that were maybe doing some stuff with games. And we went out and did some insight as well to start to understand what young people are using, just to try and inform our decision about what platform and how we take this project forward. So we went through a fairly standard kind of design approach for our products. This is a design approach that an organisation called Humanly use, and we work quite closely with them in some projects. But it's a fairly standard approach where we started at that problem and thinking, well, what is it we're trying to solve? And then we started to work with young people and practitioners to understand some of their needs, understand how this could be done in the classroom, and games and technologies and other products that young people use and they find exciting and engaging. We then started to go into generating some ideas. So as Emma said, she was really leading that, and we'd appointed a games designer, and they were working alongside us. So we were getting ideas from young people about how we might approach this, and then bringing that to games design sessions with our developer. So we started developing initial concepts, testing them out, tearing them up at points, and re-engineering them a little bit. And that's kind of formed the basis of what we've got as prototypes. So we had a games design document was produced that outlined in great detail how all this would work and how users would engage, how the characters would interact. Non-playing characters would have conversations with them, and the different features of the game as well, which we'll walk you through in a little bit. So we got to that and then moved on to the build. So we basically built this and had it ready to go sort of November-ish time as a product. The digital product was ready, and from then on we were working on teacher materials and finessing them a little bit and thinking about reaching out to local authorities and engaging them. So this is all part of that. Just to explain a wee bit about some of the partners we were working with on this project. So we worked with an agency called Blockworks, who are a specialist Minecraft developer, and they worked with us to create the world, the Scottish world. So it's like a mini Scotland almost, with some landmarks in there. It's in no way a realistic map of Scotland. It's there to get young people to explore the world and get familiar with using Minecraft. Some other pupils might not be so used to it. You can go through and do that, and within the world there's different entry points into mini games. I'll show you those. There's 3 mini games, one for each of the sectors that we're focusing on: sustainable construction, renewable energy, and space technology. The idea is that you can complete a mini game, work through that, a lesson kind of associated with each of those, and then you move into a sort of build challenge. And again, Emma will talk you through the build challenges. But the idea is that you can build something in a small group and then enter it into a competition where we'll have some winners. The idea is that those winning entries will then be stitched into the Minecraft world, and it'll expand the world out so there's more to explore and engage with in the future. And the world itself will be there beyond this project so that schools can potentially access it and run other build challenges or other little competitions or games for their schools as well. So hopefully it's got a shelf life beyond this initial project, and potentially we can build out from this as well with other sectors or other types of functionality. We've been working a little bit with Minecraft and Minecraft education, so you can access the world through Minecraft education. You need to have a license for that. It's on their website and you can download and access all the materials there. We've also placed the materials on our corporate Skills Development Scotland site, which is probably a bit easier to access as well, and there's no issues with technology or firewalls or any of that stuff that might block schools. We worked with an agency called Aspire to Be, who are global Minecraft education training providers. I believe they've worked with a lot of the schools up in the Northeast before on Minecraft projects, and they helped us to shape up the teaching materials and the approach linked into the games. And then finally, we've got My World of Work Live. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a team in Skills Development Scotland of 4 advisors that are spread geographically across Scotland, and they can go into the schools themselves and run live sort of lessons. So maybe if you don't have technology, or you feel maybe uncomfortable running a Minecraft lesson, or for whatever reason, you can book a session with the My World of Work Live team. So just to run through our kind of outline plan of where we've been and where we're going. So the idea is that we'll run this through to sort of May into June, when we'll announce the winners, and then we'll have that legacy world. We've been through a wee bit of a process. So as I said earlier, the build and the test of the solution was completed in around November time. We then worked through and developed teaching materials and onboarding sessions, that one of which we're running just now. We had a series of lessons that we've outlined, and the idea would be that the schools could tackle one or more of those lessons over the sort of January to Easter holiday period, and then they'll move into the sort of build challenge. Could start the build challenges earlier. The idea is that during May, the build challenges will be submitted, and then we'll assess them and pick out some winners based on some criteria that we've kind of outlined within the documentation that Emma's going to show you. So I'll hand you over to Emma. Hope you're on mute, Emma.
Thank you. Can you see my screen okay?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
So I'm going to show you a little playthrough, which will give you an idea of what's in the world, and then I'll take you through a bit about what teacher materials and resources we've got available. So here we go.
Skills Development Scotland is working on a project to create a Minecraft education world for students. The aim is to alter people's thoughts on careers in the energy, construction and space sectors. We are giving young people the chance to explore jobs that are relevant now and in the future. These include ones that you may not be familiar with. The energy, construction and space sectors are continuing to grow and change. Because of this, they need a skilled workforce to keep up with demand. We'll challenge learners to explore the world, take in famous Scottish landmarks, complete a series of fun mini-games and get creative with exciting build tasks. They'll also learn what skills are necessary to work in each of the 3 sectors. There are 3 set challenges. Learners will tackle an obstacle course through a space rocket, build a wind turbine, and repair a damaged forestry building. Each challenge gives the learner key information they need to later take part in a creative build competition. Minecraft education lets learners build on their tech and meta skills, working together and gaining new experiences. They'll also learn about the skills needed to take on a career in space technology, renewable energy, or sustainable construction. Keep your eyes peeled for more information, and we hope to see you getting involved when we launch in January 2024.
So hopefully that's given you a bit of a better idea of what the world includes and what you can expect. We also have a selection of playthrough videos, so they are of each of the mini games actually being played. So I'll go through this in a bit more detail, but each mini game has essentially got a level 1 and a level 2. Level 1 is a bit easier than level 2, and we've got a playthrough of each where you're able to see where to go next if you get a wee bit stuck. But in terms of teacher materials, like Derek mentioned, you can find these either on the SDS corporate site or through Minecraft Education. If you're going there from the SDS site, you're able to download the world here, and it will download as a zip file. And then underneath you've got your teacher materials. So the most important one to read first would be the introduction document. It will give you a bit of an understanding about what Skillscraft is, a little bit of teacher preparation, some mini game guides. So these are the videos that I've just mentioned, and then it goes into learning intentions, what each student activity is, and then we've also mentioned that we've got a certificate available as well, and just wrote how to fill that in. The other documents we've got available are one lesson plan for each of the mini games. So I'll open the space technology one, but all 3 are in the same structure, so it should give you an idea of how they all work. Each lesson plan is separated into 2 parts. Part 1 is the mini game, a focus on kind of exploration, and then part 2 is the build element. So it begins with learning intentions and success criteria, what meta skills are used, and where it ties into curriculum objectives. It then has some useful links that will help you understand a bit more about the sector. And then underneath we've got some job profiles which link off to My Worlds of Work. These are ones that are mentioned throughout the game if you want to get a bit more background on each. The first task is to start getting people thinking. So in groups, think about what you know about space travel, what materials could be best to create a rocket, just to really get people thinking about the sector. It then goes on to discover. So this is where the kids would be expected to make their way to the area relating to each of the sectors, and in each one there will be NPCs or non-playing characters which will give them a little bit more information, and then the information they find out they can add to a poster. I believe each of the lesson plans includes a slightly different task here. So this one's a poster. I think another one maybe a mock-up of a social media post, but they're all roughly the same. And then after that, we go into the mini game itself. So for space technology, it's a parkour challenge throughout a rocket ship. For renewable energy, it is building a wind turbine, and for sustainable construction, it is repairing a damaged building. So they're all very different. If you fancy doing all three, then there's definitely a range of activities throughout. Like I mentioned, there is a level 1 and a level 2 for difficulty. The idea is that the kids can then choose what one suits them best based on their own experience. We've also included, if players are struggling, we've got a kind of teacher cheat code that you can enter. So we've left the instructions of how to do that as well, just in case there's anybody in your class that maybe have fallen behind a little bit or haven't made it to the end and you want to move on. That option is there for you to bring everybody back to the same position in the game. So once you've completed the mini games, we've got a little bit of questioning and discussing, like how did they perform as a team, what skills did they develop, things like this. And then this can also be added to their poster as well. Part 2 of each lesson plan is the build challenge. So Derek mentioned that we're running a competition. The build challenge from each lesson plan is what makes up that competition. So you can submit entries of what's created at this stage. We're not expecting people to do like 2 different things. So the brief for space is to design and build a moon colony. So we've left each of the briefs quite open. We're expecting people to get quite creative here. We didn't want to leave it too restricted that they can't just come up with whatever they think fits best. So we've got a little bit of hints of what we would like to see, but the main idea is that they can come up with anything that they think would work. We have included a rubric of what makes a good, an excellent, or a Minecraft master level build. So, for example, the differences may be that for a good build, you'd have a moon colony. For excellent, it would be a moon colony and a rocket. And then for Minecraft masters, moon colony, a rocket with a launch pad and mission control. So you can see a bit about how each level would be expected. I'll open up the competition brief as well and just run you through that. So a bit of background is just that the competition is running until the 24th of May. So all entries need to be submitted by then. We're not putting a timescale on it. You can choose to work on this build as little or as long as you like. Some people might choose to do it in one period, or some may want to do it over a course of days or weeks or even months if you wish. So there's no maximum time allowance for that. Winners from the competition, there'll be 1 from primary age and 1 from secondary age, and then 6 runners up, 1 for each sector for primary and 1 for each sector for secondary. And then the winning teams will have their solutions added into our world. We've got a little bit about prizes. So all winners and runners up will receive prizes. So both get trophies for their school as well as vouchers for each team member. How the competition works is that a teacher divides the class into 3 teams and each person will have a different role. So the roles we've suggested are designer, project manager and builder. Now, just because someone is given one of these roles at the beginning doesn't mean that they need to stick to it. They can be alternated within the challenge. So just because they get it once doesn't mean they're stuck on that. Like I mentioned, we've got one brief for each of the sectors. So space is moon colony, sustainable constructions, a sustainable resort and tourist destination, and renewable energy is to power a music festival using renewable energy. And then they go into a bit more detail here. These are the same briefs that are included in the lesson plans, but we've pulled them out here for ease. Again, when your class is working on this, they don't all have to do the same one. If you think it would be easier to run it that way for yourself, then that's fine to do. But again, if you want to separate it out, so there's some working on renewable energy, some working on space, etc., that is fine too. We've brought the rubric over here as well. It's a little bit more general here because it talks about all 3 build challenges in one. So for a good build would be a main build feature, excellent would be a main and a secondary build feature, and then Minecraft Master would be a main, a secondary and additional build feature. But if you wanted the kind of more detail on that, you could link back to your lesson plan. So how to enter. Each school can submit up to 3 entries. We've done it this way so that it could be 1 per year group. However, we are not being strict on this. If you think that there should be 3 entries from S1, for example, that is fine too, as long as it is limited to 3 per school. Each entry should be a YouTube video, so the maximum it can be is 3 minutes. Anything over 3 minutes won't be considered. We are expecting quite a lot of entries here, so unfortunately we do have to be quite strict on that. If we start going over, then it would just take way too long to be watching all those videos. And the other thing is that we will only accept video entries, so we won't be able to receive any world files. It needs to be submitted as a video. So we've got guidelines on how the video should be created. So 20% of the weighting will be on design process, 10% on teamwork, and 10% on the skills developed, and 60% on build solution. So we are kind of hoping that people will work well together and they'll get a bit of an understanding about what skills they're gaining throughout the process. But ultimately it is a Minecraft competition, so the build solution is going to carry the most weighting. We've got a slide on submission. So entry videos should be hosted on YouTube, and then you can email us your video. Like I said, only submit the video, not the world, and make sure to include your school, the team name and individual names in the email so that we know who has created it. And the winner will be announced by the 21st of June. So that is the competition. And then the only other thing that we've got here is a little certificate. So this is for you to fill in and give to the pupils or to the class that has taken part, just as a little reward, especially for those who maybe aren't getting their submission sent in for the competition, just to make sure everybody feels included. I think that's everything I've got, unless Derek, is there anything I've missed?
No, I think that's great, Emma. Thanks very much. I suppose
Right.
just I saw there's a few questions coming in there, and
Okay.
Jim and others have actually been responding as well. Julia and others have just been responding to that. So I think they're mostly covered, but happy to take any questions and see if there's anything else we can cover off.
Yeah, there was a question about the age levels, because I know we've got some teachers of younger age levels here, and we thought it looked as though it was 2nd level up. I mean, is there the ability for teachers to kind of adapt those lessons for younger pupils and still use the worlds if they wanted, or is it really best just for 2nd level up and then they can take part in the competition?
So the target audience when we were creating it was from primary 5 to S3. although it is open for use by others. If you feel like it would be suitable for your class, then you're more than welcome to take part. When we were out at testing, I believe the youngest we tested with was age 7, and they were still able to complete the mini game. They did have a bit of Minecraft experience, but it's definitely possible for younger to get involved.
Smashing, thank you.
I had a question about the YouTube submission. Does it have to be YouTube, or can we give you a link from a OneDrive or G Drive?
If you have issues with YouTube, I think it should be fine to submit any sort of link, just as long as we can access it.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I wondered about that as well, because I had thought, you know, if teachers didn't have a YouTube channel at their school, what they could do is they could submit it to our Minecraft Build Challenge team that we've got in Glow, just like they would normally with our other challenges, and we just create a folder, and then we could upload them to YouTube for them, if that could possibly be a way as well.
Fine. If it is done that way, though, just make sure that you include the names of those
Yeah,
that are involved.
yeah, we'd do that. That might just make it a wee bit easier for schools if they haven't got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I would say just on the target age as well, although we were kind of targeting the product for that age group, I think there might be older pupils in secondary school or younger pupils in primary that, you know, enjoy using Minecraft and want to be involved. So try not to exclude anyone. So it is open and can be used by younger classes or younger individuals in classes that really enjoy Minecraft.
And I think even just looking through those worlds as well, because it just looks really good too, and exploring some of those landmarks. So even if your class isn't at second level, I think you would still be able to get things out of it. Yeah.
And the only thing I would ask as well, I would say, is we've done quite a bit of testing, and the kids are generally really enjoying playing with it. You know, it does feel like a product that pupils want to use, and they're like, how can we use this in our school? Is my school getting this? And obviously with the licence issues, it's a wee bit patchy across Scotland. So yeah, hopefully it lands well and kids enjoy it. And I know you've got loads of experience in Aberdeenshire with Minecraft, so it'd be really good to get feedback as well. And Julia and Jim will probably try and work with you to get that. But from individual schools, if you're using it and you want to pass on any comments to us or any feedback, we'd be really grateful of that too.
Yep.
Smashing. So is there anything else, Derek and Emma, that you want to share just now, or shall I show the teachers how they can get on to Minecraft in Aberdeenshire? Was there anything else you needed to go over?
Nothing else from us. I'm curious about how the teachers are going to use it, because that's a question that's been running through my mind. How does this work in a practical sense? So if it's okay, can I stay on? Is that all right?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Stay on, and we can have questions and stuff at the end, because my bit won't take too long. So that gives everyone a chance to ask some questions. So I will just share my screen, and hopefully you'll be able to see my presentation. I got a bit excited with Canva, as I usually do. So hopefully you can all see that now. We've seen the new and exciting Skillscraft world, and there's lessons now from SDS. And I know that all of you on the call are going to be itching to get going with Minecraft. And if you haven't used it before, you'll want to know how you can access it in Aberdeenshire. And that's what I'm going to talk you through just now. So first of all, anyone in school can access Minecraft Education Edition. The teachers, the head teachers, your pupils, your non-teaching staff, we've got Minecraft Education Edition as part of our Aberdeenshire Microsoft package. So that's how we've got access to it. Now, where can we access Minecraft? Well, currently we can get it on Windows machines, so desktops, laptops that you've got which are Windows based, and we can get it on iPad. But unfortunately, we cannot get it on our Aberdeenshire Chromebooks, I'm afraid, at this point in time. So just your Windows machines and your iPad. Now, you'll want to get it installed first of all, and that's the first thing that you need to do. So on a Windows machine, you'll recognise this little search bar that we've got right down at the bottom left-hand corner of our screens. And you just want to type in Software Centre in that search bar there. And hit enter. And when you hit enter, this screen will come up here. So it will pop up. And Minecraft should be one of the first ones on there. But if it's not, you can just type in the search button, the search box here, just type in Minecraft and click enter, and the Minecraft Education Desktop should come up. So you just want to click on that. And then once you've clicked on that, you will get this final box coming up. Now, on my example here, because I've already got it loaded on my computer, it says uninstall. But if you haven't got it installed on your computer, it should say install, and you just click on that. Now, the point to notice is that it is quite a large file, so you'll need to make sure that you've got enough disk space on your computer before you install it. Otherwise it's just not going to work and it's going to take forever, and then you're going to be disappointed because it won't install. So make sure that you've got enough disk space. You might also want to leave your machine plugged in and left on while you're installing it as well, so that nothing interrupts it. And once it is installed, just make sure you reboot that machine before allowing any of the children to go onto it. And I'm sure Alex from IT will jump in if I've missed anything there. You can let me know if I've missed anything, Alex. Okay.
No, that's great. That's super. That's what we have at the moment. I will suggest that this is what we've got at the moment, but if teachers can come with a set of assets they want Minecraft deployed to, we could also arrange for that to be installed without having to go through the software center. It's just that this is at the moment is the best way we've got, which was kind of for testing at the moment. But if teachers can decide which machines they want it assigned to and they supply a list of asset numbers, we can also deploy it that way if that's what people want.
Yeah. But you'll know as well, everyone, that you can get to it this way, and then you can see it actually installing. So when I installed it on my computer, I could see how far it was through, and that gave me an idea about how long it was going to take as well. And we have tested this in a school because this is quite a new way of doing it, and it has worked. So it's all really good. And thanks to Alex for sorting that out from IT for us. If we are installing it on an iPad, you'll need to go to Jamf. So look for the self-service icon. It's this colourful one here, and you just click on there, and Jamf will open up for you. Now in my Jamf, I'll get the search will come up already, but sometimes it might just go straight to the home, in which case you'll have to click on search on the left-hand side. It's really easy to find. Once you click on it, you'll just be able to tap Minecraft into the search box here and click enter, and you'll see it will pop up with some other bits and pieces underneath as well. So all you need to do is install it. So tap install, and that'll install onto your iPad for you. So really, really nice and easy to get that done. The tricky bit, though, really is probably the logging in. It's not tricky once you know how to do it, but there is a very specific process for logging in, and it's really important that you follow our instructions carefully, because otherwise you'll end up with the trial version, and that's just going to give you a very limited number of logins. And we have seen it in the past when we've been running build challenges where teachers have emailed us in a bit of a panic because all of a sudden their access has stopped and the pupil can no longer get into their worlds. And that's because they haven't followed the instructions carefully, and they've ended up with that trial version of it. And there's not anything that we can do if that happens. The world is lost, and that's that. So it's really important for you and your learners to follow the steps. For us as teachers, it's super simple. You just use your corporate details. So use your Aberdeenshire email address. So mine would be julia.rickard@aberdeenshire.gov.uk. And then it'll ask for your password next, and you just type in your corporate password. So that password that you use when you're going on to your email. don't use your Glow details or you're going to get the trial edition. Okay, so nice and simple for teachers, corporate information that you're putting in all the time. For our learners, it's slightly more complicated, and that's because effectively IT have had to create a bridge, if you like, to the corporate side so that our learners can access the licenses. That's sort of the way that I would describe it. So when they get to the login screen, they use their Glow username, but just the Glow username bit. They don't use the rest of the email address. So here I've got an example, GW24 blogs Joe. So they use the start of that, and then they follow it up with @edgyshire.net. So they're not using their @glow.sch.uk. Do not do that. Make sure you take out that bit and you put in your @edgyshire.net. And then they're going to be asked for their password. And I've got another do not down here. So don't use your Glow password. You are going to use the network password. So the network password is the password that they use to get onto your Windows desktops and Windows laptops at school. So the ones where you switch them on, they've got a blue screen right at the beginning. Don't use the Glow password and don't use the Chromebook password, which is also your Glow password. Now, we might have some schools out there who are maybe a wee bit worried because all they've got are iPads and Chromebooks for their pupils, and so learners aren't used to using a network password. And what I'll do just at the end when I've stopped sharing this presentation, I'll pop a document into the chat for you, and it will show you step by step how you can set those network passwords up for the pupils. So you're not left stuck wondering, how on earth am I even going to figure out what that network password is? Once we've stopped recording, I'll share with you what it could possibly be if it's not been changed, but I don't want to do that while we're recording just now. So if you follow all these instructions, you are going to be absolutely fine. Now on this screen, if you're on a corporate computer just now, we should be able to share this demo video with you. What I'll do is I'll share the presentation after within our Minecraft team, so you'll be able to click on this to watch the demo video through, and it'll just show you exactly how to log in, so you can see what it all looks like. It takes you through it step by step, and you can just watch that at your own leisure so that you know exactly what to do. And you can share that with your pupils as well. You know, if it's the first time that they've used Minecraft, you could pop it up on the board and watch it all together so they know exactly how to sign in and what it's going to look like for them. So lastly, I just want to thank you all for coming along this afternoon to find out a bit more. If you get started with this, we have got our X handle. I don't like calling it X, I much prefer to call it Twitter, but our handle is @Aberdeenshire LL, so please tag us with the bits and pieces that you're doing. You can also tag Minecraft too. It's just @PlayCraftLearn, I think it is, and I'm sure Derek and Emma will share their handle as well for SDS too. You can get in touch with myself or Jim. Our email address is here. Please feel free to email us with how you're getting on. But also, if you get stuck, or if there's anything you think, oh, I wish Julia had explained this afternoon, just send us an email and we will get you sorted out. We'll help you out with that. We've also got this Minecraft Sustainable Build Challenge team on Glow, and that's generally where we put all of our Minecraft stuff now. So I'll also put in the chat what the code is to join that if you're not a member of that already. And in there, in the files, you'll see step by step how to log in. You'll see previous build challenges that we've done, entries that we've had from schools, so you can see what other schools, what other children are doing. And also in there, there's the guidance for changing the network passwords. So I'll pop that into the chat in a wee minute. I'll just stop sharing that and pop those bits and pieces into the chat.